All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Inside a lab at Penn State University, I'm all plugged in for a cutting-edge research project about heat. These scientists want to know how much heat and humidity is too much for the body to take.
Nice job.
That was hard.
Yeah, it's meant to be hard.
The project is run by Dr. Larry Kenney,
He said he wants to keep going for another 2 hours.
an expert in how the body regulates temperature, but also a guy who loves to be outside.
Who am I kidding? I'm usually out here 3 days a week.
One thing he's noticed on the course, and you probably have too, is that summer is getting hotter. When it comes to extreme heat, there were 26 more days of it in the last 12 months because of climate change.
I think it's going to become a situation where people who enjoy outdoor activity will have fewer and fewer days in which
They can do it.
they can do it or they want to do it.
And Kenney is even more concerned about people who spend most of their time inside.
Most of the people who die are over the age of 65. Most of them die, with the exception of homeless who are outdoors, most of them die in indoor environments because of lack of air conditioning.
How does it feel, though? Feels like the low 90s.
But Kenney says the heat index that is used to warn the public about heat is outdated and ineffective. While it does tell us what it feels like on our skin, it doesn't tell us the damage the heat and humidity do to our bodies, or what Kenney calls heat stress.
Heat stress is what kills.
Heat stress is what kills. When our body temperature goes up and we can't get rid of that heat, it puts a strain on the cardiovascular system.
I feel like I'm a bit of a guinea pig right now.
How does heat impact our bodies? To answer that question, I've got to swallow a thermometer that's tucked inside this pill.
Hope they don't need it back.
The pill will record my core temperature as the chamber floods with hot air and humidity. They have me pedal gently to simulate light activity like washing dishes or doing laundry. So far, so good.
I would say right now it's 92 degrees in there.
It's actually about 106 degrees in there.
And they kept increasing the temperature from there.
Fatigue is setting in. I'm close to very uncomfortable right now. Let's just go with it. I feel like I've been in here for an hour and 20 minutes. It's gotten very uncomfortable. And I'm sweating more. How'd I do?
Great. Really nice profile where your core temperature went up, leveled off for a long period of time until it got warm enough that it started going up again.
It's going up again because my body can no longer compensate. For me, those conditions were a room temperature of 115 degrees Fahrenheit and 21% humidity. After that, it can get dangerous for extended exposure.
It was 115 degrees in that room.
It was.
Oh my
But it was so dry
Yeah.
that it's not a burdensome type of heat stress.
For the last 20 years, scientists have had a theory that anything above 95 degrees Fahrenheit and 100% humidity over an extended period was the danger zone. But that theory was never tested on human subjects. What Kenney's research found is the danger zone starts far lower at 87 degrees and 100% humidity. In a warming climate, that means more people will be in danger and sooner than predicted.
That eastern sun coming up over Lake Michigan was like a ritual for her. You know, she'd read her Bible and she'd start to write.
72-year-old Gwen Osborne was a retired newspaper reporter in Chicago. She lived in this apartment building for seniors. Her son, Ken Rye.
Ultimately, that was supposed to be the perfect place. Turned out not to be.
Breaking news right now, Chicago firefighters are working to cool down a north side apartment building where 3 people were found dead.
His mother died during an early heat wave in May of 2022. Her building had a policy of not turning on the air conditioning until the 1st of June, which would have been about 2 weeks later.
After 3 consecutive days of above average temperatures, you know, they decided to do health checks. And when they did the health check of her unit, she had passed.
I'm so sorry about that.
You know, every now and again it kind of hits you. So, sorry.
Do you think it's possible to develop a better standard?
I think we are developing a better standard.
Kenney says what we urgently need are real-time warnings about heat stress based on real studies of how heat impacts health.
I think we need to look more inward at the human body in terms of how we respond to conditions of high heat and humidity, and then base new standards on those sorts of physiological responses.
There it is.
One of the few places that's happening is at the Australian Open tennis tournament, which has tested how athletes respond to extreme heat. The result is a 1 through 5 heat stress scale. Each level of the scale has a specific recommendation, like taking extended breaks or suspending play. Kenney says a similar scale can be tuned to the vulnerabilities of seniors.
That, I think, would be more valuable, more valid, and more reliable in alerting the public.
And, he hopes, give us a better understanding of how truly damaging heat and humidity can be, instead of learning that lesson the hard way.
Your mom being the writer, what would be the headline of this story for her?
We can do better for our seniors. We can do better for our seniors.
David Schechter, CBS News, Chicago.